meet at the possible moment, separated with completely different memories of that meeting, and then wants to face again 5 years later. One memories the event as a small and almost forget incident. The other remember is that the day his hopes were destroyed. Their emotional difference is the real engine of the series. It explains Yammer anger, Doga confession, and the usual attention growing between them even while both continue to deny what is happening. Before discussing the latest development, it is important to understand why Yaman believes Hafif Doga is more than ordinary enemy. A year ago, Yaman was not the strong, respected, and confident farm manager we see today. He was the idealistic engineer looking for the serious opportunity. He entered an important job interview carrying ambition, responsibility, and hope for Doga who blew to the wealthy and protected world. That meeting did not hold the same meaning. Her action helped turn Yaman's important day into the humiliating experience. What followed was not only a failed interview, a tragic accident pushed Yaman's life in a darker direction and left it carrying emotional burden never fully healed. 5 years later, his position has changed. He is no longer starting helplessly inside the copyright office, which powerful people decided his future. He now controls the daily life of the farm. He understands the land now, the worker, and has earned respect through a fact. When Doga arrives there, the balance of the power is reversed. He is now the outsider. He is the person who must learn the rule, complete difficult tasks, and depend on human decision. The reversal is one of the strongest ideas in law of the nature. In the city, wealth and family influence protected Doga from any consequence. At the farm, status alone is not enough. The animal do not care about her surname. The worker cannot complete every responsibility for her. The land does not change its demand because she is uncomfortable. Nature follows its one rule, and this is where the title becomes meaningful. The love of the nature is not only about the countryside, it is about consequence. Every action creates a result. Every careless decision leaves a mark. Every person eventually meets a situation that reveals who they really are. Doga entered the farm believing she can survive without changing. Yaman received her with the intention of teaching her a difficult lesson, yet the farm slowly began changing both of them. Doga started seeing a world outside her protective life, while Yaman beginning discovered that the woman standing in front of him may not be exactly the same person he has hated for 5 years. This does not mean that Yaman's anger is false or that his pain should be ignored. His life was deeply affected by what happened. He cries the emotional weight of the humiliations, lost opportunity, and the tragedy connected to the terrible period. But the latest episode suggested that his anger has become part of his identity. He has lived with it for so long that he does not know what he will be without it. Revenge gave him his plan, a real purpose. It allowed him to place all his plan in one person and save. This happened because of her. That explanation may feel simple, even when the reality is more complicated. Doga rivals return this certainly. The more time Yaman spent with her, the harder it become to keep seeing her as a heartless figure from his past. He witnessed her mistake, but he also see her courage. He noticed her selfish side, but he also began recognizing her ability to care. More importantly, he started enjoying movement with her. That is danger for a man who has promised himself that he will never forgive him. Doga journey is because important because he began with very little understanding of the pain surrounded her. She does not arrive at the farm as a person asking for forgiveness. She arrived angry with her father, frustrated by her corruptions, and determined to resist anyone who tried to control her. She sees Yaman her treatment because she understands his case. From her point of view, he is rude, unfair, and strategic interesting in make her suffer. She cannot understand why a man who only now her act has thrown she personality destroy his life. His confession become one of the first mysterious pushing him toward him. She wants answer partly because she dislikes being judged without explanation and partly become human behavior affect her more than she wants to admit. The important changes come when she finally began learning the trust. Instead of immediately defending herself or attacking human, she slowly tried to understand what the past looked like their eyes. This is a major step in her development. Episode 6 places the chain at the center of the story. By this point, Doga has discovered the real sources of human anger. She now understands that his dislike is not simply based on class difference or a clash of personality. Behind each sharp word is a memory that changes its future. Her response becomes very important because she has survival choices. She should claim that she did not insist to cause such serial damage. She could tell him that it is unfair becoming her for everything. She could run back to her old life and refuse to carry the burden of another person's pain. Instead, the attempt to respond with empathy. This does not magically solve their conflict, and it should not. Real pain does not disappear after one conversation. However, her willingness to see his side changes. The relationship emotional direction of this series. Their relationship is no longer only a battle between an angry man and a confused woman. It becomes a struggle between their painful history and the connection forming into the present. The timing of these emotional changes become even more interesting when the management of the farm is temporarily placed in Doga's hand. For 3 days, she receives the authority normally held by Yaman. Once again, the series disturbs the balance between them. Yaman has enjoyed controlling her tasks, decided what she should do, and watching her struggle with farm life. Now Daga conceive instruction, make business decisions, and force Yaman to work within her plan. The situation creates comedy, but it also performs a deeper function. It gives Doga a real test. Complaining about Yaman management is easy. Management the farm herself is much harder. She must think about money, worker, local treater, business opportunities, and the long-term future of the property. Her choices affect more than her personal conflict. For the first time, she carries responsibility for a place where many people depend on all decisions. Doga does not try to copy Yaman. She brings her own style, idea, and experience to the rule. She sees the farm and the nearby coast not only as transition land but also as a possible modern business. She believes the beach can be used in a new way, attracting people and creating income. For a business point of view, her thinking is not foolish. She understands presentation, modern customer, and the power of creating an attractive experience. This is where her city background becomes useful rather than embarrassing. The farm has taught her practical lesson, but also being knowing the farm may need. This is important because her development should not require her to reject everything about her old identity. Growth does not mean becoming a copy of Yaman. It means learning where ability can help and where her habit must changing. The beach plan create carriers. Conflict between the town does not view the area only as a business opportunity. Local people have their one relationship with the coast. It carries movement, custom, and the sense of shared ownership. Doga experience it with the logic of improvement and profit. The community approaches it with the logic of history and belonging. Neither side is completely unreasonable. A businessman finds way to survive, especially when land and money are under pressure. At the same time, modernizations can become destruction when it ignores the people already connected to a place. This agreement allow law of nature to move beyond romantic argument. It presents a larger question about development. Should every beautiful place be turned into a experience? Can our transition area grow without losing its character? Can new ideas be introduced respectfully, or will they always create fear among people who believe their way of life is being pushed aside? Yaman understands this is local feeling better than Doga because he has lived and worked among these people. He knows that trust cannot be created through a selfish plan alone. He sees the risks Doga cannot immediately recognize. Yet this opposition is not completely natural. Personal emotions shape his reaction. He is used to being the expert. He is used to knowing where it is best for the farm. Watching Doga take control threatened about his professional authority and his emotional control. He wants to believe that she will fail because her failure will prove his judgment correct. If she succeeds, he must accept that she has useful ability. More dangerously, he may have to admit her the temporary changing in management because become every another stage in their private war. Every business disagreement hides and emotional challenges. Every instruction carries the memory of the way he once ordered her around. Dog appeared to enjoy this reversal. The gay Yaman task the test his patience and forces him into situations he would normally avoid. At moment, she is clearly taking playful revenge for a difficult word he previously gave her, yet her behavior is not driven only by punishment. She also wants his attention. Their conscious argument have created a private language between them. They communicated through challenges, teasing, complied, and small victories. When Doga tells Yaman what to do, she is not treating him like an important worker. She is creating reason for them to remain close. Yama responds with irritation, but he continues participating. Neither of them is emotionally ready to speak honestly. So they use conflict as a safe form of closeness. Fighting allows them to spend them together without admitting they want that time. This is where the romantic comedy side of the series becomes more effective. The humor does not come from random joke added between serious scenes. It grows from character. Yaman is control proud and easily disturbed when Doga breaks his carefully organized world. Doga is impulsive, clever, and determined to make him react. Their different personality create natural comedy. A simple task can become a competition. A small comment can turn into a long argument. A personal discussion can suddenly sound like a jealous conversation between two people who refuse to call themselves a couple. The audience enjoyed this moment because the character often reveals the trust through Daniel. The more strongly Yaman claimed that Doga does not matter to him, the more obvious it becomes she matters greatly. The more Doga laughed at the idea of linking Yaman, the more closely she watches him every moment. Episode 6 makes his hidden attraction much harder to ignore. One of the strongest development is Doga's reaction to Mark. Mark is not simply another woman entering the farm. She is someone connected to Doga's personal world and disturbed as one of her greatest enemies. Yaman's decision to communicate with Mark immediately created danger. No one anger he may be using information as part of his ongoing struggle with Doga. On another level, Mark's prison creates exactly the situation needed to reveal Doga's jealousy. Until now, Doga could explain her interest in Yaman has or irritations. He could say only wanted to understand why he hated her. She could claim that their closeness was created by farm work, but saying his interest with the woman she disliked removed this is confrontation explanation. Her emotional reaction became visible before she has time to hide it. Jealousy is often used carelessly in romantic drama, but here it had an important purpose. It forces Dogger to fight chasing feelings she was avoiding. She does not need Yaman to confuse anything. Her one discomfort tells her that the relationship has changed. She is no longer brother held only by his opinion of her. She is brother by where his attention goes. She wants to know what his discussion with Mark. She watches her their body language and searching for sign of closeness. Every smile becomes suspicion. Every private conversation feels personal. This reaction does not mean Doga is ready to admit she is in love. It means her emotions have moved ahead of her logic. Her heart has entered a place her mind still refuses to name. Yaman may also recognize her jealousy. He is an observant man, especially when Doga is concerned. He notices changing in her tone and expression. The question is whether he uses their knowledge to protect her, tease her, or test her. His history suggested that he may do all three. Part of them enjoys seeing Doga loses control because she has spent so much time acting unaffected. Part of him wants proof that he mattered to him. Another part remains frightened by the idea that their connection is becoming real. If Doga truly liked him, he must decide with her. He must want as a future. He cannot continue holding back forever. Love requires him to see her as a full person. Revenge requires him to see her trapped inside the image of the careless woman who hurt him 5 years ago. The question Yaman asked Doga in the latest episode, pushing directly toward his hidden trust, his concern her emotionally by asking whether she likes him. It is a simple question, but it within their relationship carries emotional weight. They can agree about work without fear. They can insult each other and later return to normal. They can joke about jealousy. A direct question is difficult. It demands a clear answer. It removes the protection offered by Hammer. Yaman's decision to ask also reveals sometimes about him. A person who feels nothing does not need confrontation. He asks because dog answer better. Perhaps he wants to hear her deny it. If he can feel safe, perhaps he wants her to admit it so he can stop doubting the connection. Most likely, he wants both things at the same time. Doga is not prepared to give him the honesty he requires. Her pride immediately becomes a shield. She now Yaman has spent weeks making her life difficult. She also now that he has spoken by Mark and may be using jealousy as another game. Admitting attraction while place has in a vulnerable position. Yaman already control him too much of the emotional space between them because he now the boss while he is concerned learning it meaning if she confessing false she fear he may use that trust against her therefore her Daniel is not evidence that she feel nothing it is evident that trust has not yet grown enough for honesty. Attraction is present, but safety is meaning. The lack of trust is the biggest challenge facing the romance. Physically, chemistry and playful argument can bring two character close, but they cannot build a latest relationship alone. Yaman has hidden information and used his knowledge of the past to punish Doga. Doga has a history of careful behavior and often hides serious emotion behind jokes. Both are afraid of losing control. For the relationship to become meaningful, they must move beyond attraction and begin taking responsibility. Yaman must recognize the difference between seeking justice and casing flush pain. Doga must understand that good intention do not erase the result of action. Forgiveness cannot be demanding, but punishment cannot continue forever. Episode 6 also forgotten the idea that the farm is full of separate planes. While Yaman and Doga focus on each other character making decisions that could threaten the future of the land must continue moving forward with his interest in the farm property, his intentions of where connection to control and development rather than the emotional value of a place. The farm is more than a romantic setting. It is an asset, vulnerable asset, attract people who see money where see other home. It creates a practical danger that may eventually store Yaman and Doga onto the same side. They can continue arguing over management matter, but if the ether property is threatened, personal competition will become less important. Multi-position in the story should not be viewed only through romance. He may create jealousy or challenges Yaman, but his larger importance is tied to power. Yaman has emotional authority at the farm because he has worked there and built relationships. Doga has legal and family connection through her power. Mart may try to use his business argument and hidden deal to gain influence. Each man represents a different form of control. Yaman power grows from label and trust. Mart power may grow from money, planning, and legal opportunity. Doga stands between this is while she understands with Nasrin offered to sell the share belonging to Safid and another layer to his threat. Family property becomes especially vulnerable when family members are divided. An outsider enemy cannot easily take control if everyone inside is united. But one relative have different needs, secrets and ambitions. This factor began breaking from within. Nasrin's decision may be motivated by financial pressure, personal frustration, or a desire to independence. Whenever her listen, the sale of the share could provide Mud or another interesting person with the opening they need. This storyline may seem quieter than the main romance, but it can become one of the most important parts of the reason. A small legal or financial choices can change ownership of the land and become every character's future at risk. Their bitter while still allowing this is business issue to grow behind the romantic comedy. For now, many viewers focus on jealousy, accidental closeness, and the question of what Yaman and Doga will admit their feeling. Meanwhile, the farm future is openly uncertain. This gives the series space to change into tone. Later, the early episode can remain bright, funny, and romantic. While the hidden land conflict slowly prepare a more serious struggle when Yaman and Doga finally begin trusted each other, they may discover that the place bringing them together is in danger of being divided or sold. Their emotional partnership made them development into a practical alliance. Brock and Vera growing closeness offer a different type of romance, while Yaman and Doga communicated through anger and competition. Brock and Vera create a softer energy. Their connection provides relief for a meme couple emotional storm. If also help Vera become more than Doga companion. She gained her one relationship with the farm and its people. The matter because side characters should not exist only to listen to the land character problem. Vera growing bond with Rock allow her to make choices that may offer from Doga plan if Doga eventually decided to leave. Vera may not want to follow it conflict dividing the two families. Vera and Brock may find themselves trapped between loyalty and love. Brock also have the opportunity to become a bridge between groups different at the farm. It appears more open and emotionally drag than Yaman when Yaman hide are behind Christians. Brock can show wealth more easily. His relationship with Vera more decimated as the main couple could have if they stopped turning every feeling into the battle. However, a peaceful romance can still face serious tests, social difference, family expectation, the reveal tension around Lucy and Perrin's unfinished love story add emotional history to this series. The relationship reminds viewers that Yaman and Doga are not the same people in the world to Lucy's time because of pride, customs, or family pressure. Lucy and Perrin represent a possible future for the younger couple. Two people can care for each other deeply and still allow air to pass without solving the problem between them. Love does not automatically defect fear. A relationship can remain unfinished when neither person acts as the right moment. By bringing Lucy and Perrin pass back into the present, the series creates a mirror. The older character may repeat their mistake and they may financially show Yaman and Doga they waiting too long has a cost. Lucy is especially more important because he is not only Doga father, his choices help shape the protective life she has been. Sending her to the farm may have begun as a punishment or a lesson. But it has accidentally placed her inside a world where she is discovering her one ability. Lucy may believe he knows what is best for her, yet he also carries unresolved emotion from his one life. This condition can make him more human. A father who controls his father's future may have failed to take control of his one heart. This relationship with Parian can expose the personal region hidden beneath his confident behavior. It may also change his attitude toward Doga and Yaman. If he remembers the pain of losing love, perhaps he will not immediately turn against the relationship. On the other against their relationship, guilt and fear may make him even more controlling. Perry's position connected the emotional world of the farm. Her past with Lucy and her relationship with the Yaman family place her close to several major conflicts. She may understand about the power of the love and the danger of all resentment. For this reason, she could become an important voice of wisdom, yet wisdom does not mean she has solved her one life. Character often battle are recognizing other people's mistakes than facing their one. Padre may see that human angry in turning into love long because he accepted. She may also see Doga affect to change. But when Lucy come close, her one past could make her uncertain and defensive. The family storyline give love the nature emotional deep because Yaman and Doga do not exist alone. Every choice they may affect reality, worker and the friend. Yaman pain is connected to his family responsibility. Doga behavior is shaped by his father's wealth and expectations. The farm gathers these different people into one space, creating a community where secrets cannot stay private forever. A romantic confession may change finally aliens. The property deal may destroy a friendship, and old life may influence a new one. The Turkish drama often succeeds because personal and family conflict are connected. Love the nature period to be building that same structure while maintaining a lighter summer atmosphere. One of the most appealing quality of the series is the uses of the location. The farm and the coastal environment are not silent background. They shape the story wide outdoor spaces, crave freedom, but they remove the protection of city life. Doga cannot easily hide behind office door, expensive restaurant or social event. She must face people directly. Yaman appears more confident in this environment because she understands its rhythm. She visual contrast because naturally beauty and emotional conflict give this series much of its charm. Two characters may be standing into a peaceful landscape while fighting as if the one is ending. Their contrasts keep the drama enjoyable rather than the constantly hidden heavy roller coaster atmosphere. Sport, the theme of the changing. The sea is never completely still. The land follows seasoned work must adjust to weather, animal and harvest. In the same way, relationship at the farm key changing even when the character try to hold on to old position. Yaman may want Doga to remain the enemy from his memory because it continues showing new side of herself. Doga wants Yaman to remain an annoying man she can defect, but his pains and care complicated the image. Lucy and Perion want the past to remain buried, yet old feeling returns. The setting quietly tells us that nothing living stays frozen forever. The title Love the Nature can also be understood as the emotional rule that attraction grows when two people are forced to see each other honestly. In the beginning, Yaman and Doga rely on face image. He sees a spoiled woman who never faces consequence. She aims a bitter, enjoyable, and sexy clarity. Doga life slowly breaks this image. Yaman sees Doga covered in dirt, tired, embarrassment, and still refusing to surrender. Doga sees Yaman loyalty, discipline, and hidden vulnerability. They encounter each other without the perfect clothing and social mask of the city. This does not automatically create love, but it creates recognition. They began seeing the human being behind the rule. Arpiran Dioma's performance as Yaman worked because he does not play anger in only one way. Yaman could be cold and controlled, but his body language often revealed when his word died. A simple pause, a changing in the experience on the way he wanted Doga can tell us that his feelings are no longer simple. He tried to appear unaffected, yet he became alert with another man approaching her of whenever she is in danger. His emotional conflict is visible because he wants to look like someone arguing with himself before he agrees with her. The rule requires return, humor, and wanted pride, and the performance becoming more interesting. When all three appear in the same scene, Ozyagis give Doga an energy that prevents the character from becoming only a spoiled rich woman. Doga can be frustrated and careless, but she is also lively, brave, and capable of surprising kindness. Her humor protected her from humiliation, even when Yaman gave her difficult work. She searches for a way to answer him rather than accepting the fact. This determination makes her believable as someone who can eventually become a real partner in managing the farm. Her developing empathy in episode 6 is important because it grows from experience. She is not suddenly transformed into a perfect person. She remains impulsive and proud, but she began thinking about another person's pain. The chemistry between the two characters is stronger when the dialogue appears playful, but the emotional underbelly is serious. Their argument move quickly and both characters fight to control the conversation. Doga often changing direction with Hummer. Yaman tried to remain firm but become irritated when she refused to follow the emotional path he accepted. This is scene feel alive because victory keeps changing hands. Yaman may begin with authority, but Doga can unsettle him with an expected command. Doga can begin confidently, but Yaman can silence her with a question about her feeling. Neither character means completely dominant while keeping their relationship balanced and engaging. Balance is essential because the early one setup carries a risk. If Yaman punishment becomes too clear, viewer may stop supporting the romance. If Doga is forgiven without understanding the damage connected to her past, Yaman pain may feel unimportant. The series may continue working a careful line. Yaman should face consequence of the way he has used his power at the farm. Doga should continue learning responsibility instead of receiving forgiveness simply because attraction has developed. The best outcome is not for one character to defect the other, it is for both to become more honest and emotionally mature. Episode 6 moves the story closer to that outcome, but it also carries fresh problems. Doga empathy may often her approaching, yet Yaman interaction with Mark threatened to destroy the trust beginning point. Then from Doga point of view, speaking to Mark is not a harmless social choice. Mark represents worldly or tension and possible betrayal. Yaman may believe he is controlling the situation, but he risks repeating the same mistake the Christian in Doga, acting without understanding how deeply his choices affect another person. If he uses Mark only to create jealousy or gain information, he is placing revenge above honesty once again. Mark rule could development in similar direction. She may become a direct romantic rival through the world. Maybe the old ordinary possibility or more interesting part make has a tragic thread. She may now detail about Doga past, family or business world that Yaman does not know. She could offer him information that appear useful while quickly turning him against Doga because Yaman already carries doubt and resistment. He is vulnerable to any story that confirms his world belief. Mark does not need to make him fall in love with her. She only needs to create mistrust between him and Doga. Doga's response will reveal how much he has gone. The old Doga might react with an immediate public fight inside Mark and the remark that Yaman chooses a side without explanation. A more mature Doga will still feel jealousy but will try to understand what Yaman is doing. This does not mean she should remain silent. Growth is no passive acceptance. She can directly challenge him and set a boundary. She can tell him that whenever exists between them cannot development while is using his enemy as a weapon. Such a confrontation will move their relationship forward because it will place in jealousy with it and honest. Discussion about trust. Yaman must also decide whether he wants Dogar to understand his pain and continue playing for it. These goals are not the same. If he wants misunderstanding, her sympathy in episode 6 should matter. He should notice her attempt to manage the farm responsibility and respect local concern. If you only want punishment, no amount of reward will satisfy him because every positive change will threaten his reason for revenge. The story appears to be moving toward a movement where someone will force him to confront the condition. He may have to admit that the person he is punishing no longer matches the person he cares each day. The episode 7 trailer suggested that the conflict will now become more direct. The trailer center line indicates that Doga believes Yaman's personal issue with her have been obvious. The trailer central line indicates that Doga believes Yaman's personal issue with her has become obvious. This is an important shift. Earlier she is searching for the reason behind his hatred. Now she can openly identify nature of his behavior. She has enough information to challenge him without fear. The trailer also appeared to place new pressure around Mud, Bursa and the continued tension over Doga. The sisterhood may begin physical danger, emotional confrontation at a clear division between people who want to protect the farm and this is who want to use it. My first prediction is that Yaman communication with Mark will not produce that the result he expected. He may believe he can gain information or make Doga jealous while emotionally distant. Insist Mark will properly understand his feeling before he does. He may recognize that Doga is his weak point. When see this, he can use the situation against both of them. Yaman will face the consequence of inviting a dangerous person into a conflict he thought he controlled. My second prediction is that Doga temporary management will create a result that is neither complete success nor complete failure. Some part of her beach idea may attract attention or create income, proving that her modern thinking has value. At the same time, she may overlook a practical or cultural problem, confirming that Doga Yaman warning were not based only on jealousy. This balanced outcome will be more useful as simply providing one of them right. It will show that the farm needed both perspectives. Yaman now the land and community. Doga understand promotion, customer and new business opportunity. The real success will begin when they stop completing and continue. This is a trend. My third prediction is that the property storyline will soon move into the foreground. Might plan an instant attempt to sell surface share cannot remain background detail for long. A buyer may appear, a signature may be obtained, or a secret agreement may be discovered. Yaman could learn that the farm is in greater danger than anyone else. The threat may force him to seek Doga help before her family and business knowledge can provide a crease he does not have. Working together against a common enemy naturally deepens into bonds. My fourth prediction concerned Barsa. The trailer-related update suggested that she may threaten Doga or become involved in a serious confrontation. Barsa's action may be driven by jealousy, fear, or loyalty to someone else. She could reveal information about Mud's intention, but only after creating danger. If Doga is placed at risk, Yaman's reaction will be revealing. He may forget every promise of revenge and act immediately to protect her. Such a movement shows that his present feelings have become stronger than his past anger. My fifth prediction is that Mud and Yaman will move toward a direct confrontation. Mud may see Yaman as an obstacle to his land plan and possible as a rival for Doga attention. Yaman may see Mud as someone using money and manipulation to take what offer has built. Their conflict could become physical, but the more important battle will involve Doga trust. Mud may try to convince her that Yaman's revenge make him dangerous. Yaman may try to expose Smart hidden plan. Doga will need to judge both men through their action rather than their climb. My sixth prediction is that the romance between Rock and Villa will become connected to a secret. One of them may hear a conversation about the farm share, merge plan or merge agreement. Because their relationship closes social group, they can move between spaces where order may not notice him. Their closeness may therefore become useful to the main plot. However, sharing the information could place their one relationship under pressure. Villa may feel responsible for protecting Doga, while Bragg may feel responsible for his family. My seventh prediction is that Lucy and Perian will come close to discussing the real reason their love remain unfinished. Their revenge feeling cannot develop only through look. The audience need to learn what separated them and whether their problem still exists. Their story will not be revealed. A family connection affected Yaman and Doga. Turkish drama often uses the older generation secret to deceive the younger generation relationship. A decision may ago may explain pressure resistance, financial agreement, or an usable way the two families are connected. My eighth prediction is that Doga will soon apologize to Yaman more directly. Her empathy is episode 6 is an important beginning, but Yaman may need to hear clear to recognition of what happened. The apology will not stronger if Doga does not use it to damage immediately forgiveness. She can say that his understand her action has consequence even though she never intends the tragedy that allows Yama's response may remain cold but the world will affect him. A sincere apology could weaken the emotional wall he has protected for years. My ninth prediction is that Yaman will eventually confess his role in making Doga time at the farm intensely difficult. He may agree that she deserves to learn responsibility, but he now even influences his choices for the relationship to become equal. Doga must understand now much of her experience was arranged as punishment. The trust may cases and temporary separation. She may feel that every close movement was part of this game. Yaman will then need to prove that his feeling changes and that is no longer controlling her life for revenge. My 10th prediction is that the first clear romantic step will happen during a crisis rather than a peaceful conversation. Yaman and Doga to pry to calmly down, set and admit everything a dangerous situation. A property threat, a family emergency, or a confrontation with Mark may breach their control. One may believe the other is living or has been hurt. Fear will then speak more honestly than pride. The emotional confession may not immediately create a stable relationship, but it will make Daniel impossible. The strongest possible direction for episode 7 would be a promise their personal and business conflict together. Doga could discover that someone is moving against the farm while also dealing with Mark's presence. Yaman could try to protect the land, but damage Doga trust through clarity. Mark could use the confession to advance his plan, but such it could create immediately danger. Brock and Vera could discover a useful clue. Lucy and Perrier may recognize that the younger generation is repeating their one mistake. The well-structured episode will allow all this is studied to influence one another rather than feeling like a prayer story. What matter law of nature word following is not the question of whether Yaman and Doga will fail in love. The genre already give us a strong idea of that answer. The real question is what kind of people they will become because they are ready for love. Will Yama release that anger that has protected him for live years? Will Doga learn responsibility without losing her confidence and humor? Will they build a partnership based on respect? Or will attractions only create another form of conflict? This is question give the romance meaning. Doga's strongest quality is her refusal to remain defected. Even when she enters a situation without experience, she finds a way to continue. At first, this quality looked like stubbornness. Over time, it became resilience. The farm does not completely break her, and human harshness does not send her running away. She learned, adjust, and began using one idea. This is why her temporary management mattered. It proved that she is moving from someone who reacts their decisions into someone who makes them. Yaman's strongest quality in this commitment. He does not read work usually. He protected the farm because his representative survival, family, and dignity. However, commitment became dangerous when it turned into control. Yaman often believed that because he cared deeply, he must be the one who believed everything. Doga challenges this belief. She brings disorder, but she also brings responsibility he could not consider. His development will require him to understand that partnership is not weakness. Accepting another person's idea does not erase his experience. Their greater sharp weakness is pride. Pride keeps Yaman from admitting that his hatred has changed. Pride keeps Doga from admitting that his opinion matters. Pride turns small misunderstanding into long conflict. Yet pride also creates the energy viewer enjoy. The viewer writer do not need to remove this quality completely. They need to transform it. Healthy pride can become self-respect. Yaman can protect his dignity without punishment. Doga can defend himself without refusing accountability. Their relationship will become mature when neither must humiliate the other to feel strong. The latest episode is therefore a turning point rather than a romantic final victory. Doga now sees Yaman pain differently. Yaman now sees signs that Doga may care for him. The management will allow it to experience the other position. Merg's arrival exposed jealousy. The farm financial threat created the beginning of a common enemy. Side romance and all love story expand the emotional world. Every element is pushing the character away from the simple rule that healed in episode 1. Yaman is no longer only the victim seeking revenge, he is becoming a man responsible for a new pain he may create. Doga is no longer only the woman who caused damage without understanding it, she is becoming a person capable of empathy, will, and leadership. Mark is no longer only as an enemy from Doga's social life. She may become the person who tests Yaman loyalty. Mert is no longer only another man around Doga. He may become a serious threat to the land. Lucy is no longer only the father controlling his daughter. His one unfinished love may reveal the emotional weakness behind that control. This series could continue allowing consequence to shape the character. Doga management decisions should have real results. Yaman notice to involve Mer should cause him trust. Nasrin's sheer sale should affect the farm ownership. Mer plan should create danger beyond simple jealousy. Brock and Vira relationship should force them to make choices. Lucy and parent past should influence in the present when every storyline creates a consequence. The title between more than a romantic Paris. It becomes the structure of the drama. There is also a useful message in the way Doga believes responding to human anger. Understanding another person's pain does not mean accepting every way that exploited it. They may feel sorry for that weapon to help that they resistant to the mistreated. This him while still refusing to be mistreated. This distraction is important. Empty should not raise boundaries. Similarly, Yaman can recognize Doga trust growth without protecting the past never happened. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is choices not to use the wound as a weapon forever. The future romance will become work. Bloodman character apologize for different things. Doga must apologize for the carelessness connected to Yaman past. Yaman must apologize for turning his pain into a plan of punishment. Neither apologize cancel the other. Neither person is completely innocent or completely guilty. The normal balance gives the emotional story strength. The audience can understand human anger while questioning his matter. We can enjoy Doga Habbar while recognizing his earlier irresponsibility. Episode 7 is likely to increase the pressure because the first stage of the story is ending. The characters have made forward learning each other's secret and development attraction. The next stage must learn whether his attraction can survive trust, Mark Mart and the sheer farm. The family history provides similar. way to create that trust. The danger is that Yaman and Doga may finally move closer only for hidden information to separate them again. Our temporary separation will not be surprising. Doga may learn that Yaman deliberately used Mark or that he continued hidden and important details. She could decide that her feelings are making her weak and prepare to leave the farm. Yamar may act and through her departure is what he always wanted, but once she is truly leaving, the farm will feel different. The argument, energy, and expected idea she brought will disappear. Yaman made then understand that revenge gave him Doga presence, but forgiveness is the only thing that might allow him to wiki. Doga pressure could also reveal how much he has changed. At the beginning, leaving the farm will have feel like freedom after forming relationship with the other worker. Vera Brock and Yaman family living might feel like losing a home she does not need expert to find. The emotional reversal will be powerful. The place originally decided, but her punishment could become the first place where she feel useful and see beyond her family name. Yaman's fear of abandonment may not be connected be to more than romance. His past thought hit that important opportunity and people can disappear suddenly. Connect all people protect him from that uncertainty. By controlling the farm and his emotion, he believes he can prevent another disaster. Doga must control impossible. She changing plan, a difficult question and create feeling he cannot organize. Loving her will recognize him to accept uncertainly, which may forgotten him more than worried. Doga meanwhile may fear that people only value her because of father money or social position. At the farm, Myanmar intensely this is advantage has weakness, although his treatment is hard is reversed to be impressed by her surname. May also attack her. He see her worst habit and still notice her strengths. As she grows, she is probable because meaningful because it cannot be purchased. This explains why his opinion affect her so deeply. This attraction is therefore connected to the exact quality that create conflict. Yaman challenged Doga to become responsible. Doga challenged Yaman to become emotionally honest. He introduced discipline into her life. She introduced flexibility into his. He teaches her that action has weight. He teaches him like a person can change. This is the balance this story must protect. It as viewer we should pay closeness attention to small changes rather than waiting only for a kiss or confession. Notice when Yaman began explaining instead of ordering. Notice when Doga completely got possibility without turning it into a joke. Notice when they defect each other in front of outsider everyone while acting privately. Notice when Yaman finally began treating Doga as one of their own. Notice when Doga starting saying our farm insisting of speaking history she is only visiting. This detail will show the real development of the relationship. We should also watch more carefully. Her value as a character depends on whether she creates intelligent pressure rather than simple noise. If she understands Doga emotional weakness and Yaman resentment, she can manipulating both without openly lying. She may tell Yaman true information in a misleading way. She may remind Doga of embarrassing moments from her old life. She may become herself as calm and helpful while making Doga appear jealous and unreasonable. This type of rebel will create a stronger conflict than a woman who merely tried to attack Yaman. Mud deserved the same careful attention. His land plan may connected him to other characters in ways not yet revealed. He may be working with someone outside the family or using his and financial need. He may offer Doga an attractive business solution that secretly weaken the farm because Doga believes in modern development. Merkul can language this she can understand. Yaman might oppose the plan but fail to explain his reason clearly, making him appear jealousy rather than protective. This creates one of the most serious misunderstandings of the season. A strong future episode should show Doga intensely supporting part of Mud proposal because it resembles her one beach idea. Yaman may act angrily believing she has learned nothing about the community. Later Doga discovered the hidden ownership plan and used her business knowledge to stop it. This will prove that she can combine modern thinking with loyalty to the farm. It will also forces Yaman to admit that he underestimated her. This series has already shown that rating and audience interact grows strongly after the opening episode. Especially as the relationship between Yaman and Doga developed, the response makes sense because the story becomes more enjoyable when the issue balance improves. Viewers do not want endless punishment, they want changes, chemistry, and meaningful challenges. The latest episode appeared to understand this by giving Doga greater authority and allowing Yaman jealousy and interest to become visible. The production combination of drama and romantic comedy gives it flexibility. A serious revelation can be followed by a funny farm task. A jealous argument can lead into a family scene. A property threat can develop beside a gentle romance. This mixture becomes the serious acceptability, but it also requires careful placing. Too much comedy could weaken Yaman's painful past. Too much rewind could destroy the summer romance. Too much side stories could distract from the main couple. So far, the more effective episodes are This Is Summer and Pain Assist inside the same interaction. Episode 6 succeeds because the temporary management storyline. It's funny on the surface but meaningful underneath. Doga gets the challenge to order Yaman around, yet she also learned how difficult his responsibilities are. Yaman is placed in uncomfortable situation, yet he also sees her abilities. Mark creates jealousy, yet she also threatens the fragile trust developing between them. The beach plan creates colorful event, yet is rise the serious debate about tradition and business. This layering makes the episode more than the collection of romantic scenes. The cliffhanger energy leading into episode 7 suggested that the relationship is entering the more dangerous state. Attraction has become visible to outsiders. One another character recognizes a weakness they can use it. Mark can provide Yaman through Doga. Moog can provide Yaman through disease. Family members can interfere. Business enemy can tutor the farm knowing that the two leaders are distracted by each other. Love may have Yaman and Doga stronger together, but they accept it. Their feeling can be used to divide them. My final expectation for the coming episode is that Yaman will make a protective decision that uncurtainly his word he may continue climbing that Doga cases trouble and should leave. When she faces danger, humiliation or a serious threat, he will stand between her and the problem. Doga will notice this difference between what he says and what he does. It means because the evidence she needs to understand that his anger is no longer the only feeling controlling him. At the same time, Doga may protect Yaman in a way he does not accept. She could defend his management before her father reject might offer or prevent Mark from using information against him. Yaman has spent years fewer as the sources of his destruction, seeing her choices to protect his weak or family would directly challenge that belief. Such an action may affect him more deeply than any romantic confession. The mutual protection is the natural test stage of the story. First, they were enemies, but they will become unwilling partners. Now, they're becoming people who care, even were verbally denying it. After protection will come trust. After trust will come vulnerability. Other they can love become more than attraction. For now the emotional battle remain open. Doga has gained 3 days of authority, but Yaman still holds the trust of their past. Yaman has gained sign of her jealousy, but Doga still refusing to name her feeling. Marg has entered the situation. Marg continues his plan and the farm over she may soon become unstable. Lucy and Perian are being pulled back toward an unfinished love while Brock and Vera make toward a new one. As interior force is standing between old wound and the new possibilities. This is why our law of the nature is becoming more interesting with each episode. The story does not ask whether nature can be controlled. It shows what happens when people try to control everything land, family, business, revenge, and love. Eventually, something escapes. A secret is revealed, a plan fails, a heart refuses to follow instruction. Yaman can manage every task at the farm, but he cannot command himself to stop caring about Doga. Doga can turn every problem into a joke, but she cannot avoid the jealousy she feels when Mark stands near him. Episode 6 has pushed Bout character closer to the trust. Doga now understands that the wound behind Yaman's anger. Yaman now understands that Doga's tension made no personal than she admits. The farm needs new ideas, but this is idea must respect his people. The family needs unity, but hidden financial plan, a cleaning division. Love is growing, but trust remains weak. This is are the conflict episode 7 must carry forward. The coming episode should not give us an easy confession or immediately relationship. Yaman and Doga still has important trust to face. However, it should make their emotional position clear. Their fight is no longer about whether they affect each other. They clearly do. The question is whether they will continue using that confession to pain or finally use it to understand one another. Whether what happened next. One thing is uncertain. Doga is no longer only as a witnesser at farm. Yaman is no longer only the man teaching her a lesson. She has learned the life he's built and he has entered the emotional world she keep hidden. The farm has changing them about the rule they follow before meeting again are beginning to fail. Revolt is turning into concern, anger is turning into attention, competition is turning into partnership. Any jealousy is revealing the trust with their world continue to renege. This is what the first section of our detail of the nature discussion. In the next section, we should go deeper into Yaman character complete journey. The tragedy has changed his personality, the difference between justice and revenge. At this sign showing that his feeling for Doga has already become stronger than his anger he carried for 5 years. Welcome back everyone. In the first section, we look at the ginger conflict surrounding the farm, the changing relationship between Doga and Yaman, the growing danger about the land and the latest development after episode 6. Now, in this second section, we are going to move away from the leader story and warm Yaman mind. This section is not simply about when Yaman has done, it is about when he believed his way, when he refused to admit how his part controlling his present and why he deserved for revenge made soon because the biggest weakness in his life Yaman appears strong because he managed the farm controlling difficult solution and allow people to see his loses his balance. Yet the latest episode has showed that his return is not complete. Behind this confidence is a man who has never truly recovered from the day his future was destroyed. He has built an entire new life, but one part of him is still standing inside the old job interview, remembering the humiliation and asking why everything had to change. To understand Yaman currently, we must return to the beginning of his story before the farm because it's a tragic personality and before Doggart returned to his life, Yaman was an engineer. He was not searching for an easy road. He wanted a real change to prove himself through education, ability, and honest effect. The job interview at Lucy Company was therefore more than ordinary meeting. It represented a possible beginning. It could have given him financial security, professional respect, and a future matching the work he has already done. When Doga entered the important movement and humiliated him, she did not understand what was at risk for him. She saw a man inside her father's business world. Yaman see the daughter door to the life he has spent here preparing to enter. What felt temporary to Doga became permanent for him. The official becoming opening story explained that Yaman's disappointment was followed by a tragic accident that darkens his life. The series has carefully connected to the interview, the emotional shock and the tragedy without reducing Yaman's pain to one embarrassing conversation. This is important because Yaman does not only blame Doga for hurting his pride in his mind, she stands at the beginning of a chain of events that destroy the future he expected to have. 5 years later, she does not even remember him, while he remembers every emotional detail. This difference between their memory from the deepest wound in their relationship, carrying the memory of someone for 5 years, not because we love that person, but because you believe that person has gained your life. Now imagine meeting them alone and realizing they do not recognize you. This is the emotional shock Yaman experienced when Doga arrived at the farm. Her failure to remember him is almost more painful than the original humiliation from Yaman's point of view. His proof everything is already believed about her. He thinks she walked through other people's lives without seeing them. She had enough power to damage his future, but the moment was not important enough for her to keep in her memory. She has forced to rebuild himself after the event. While she continued living has shown nothing serious had happened. Her forgetfulness therefore become another injury. This is why Yaman's first reaction is not simple anger, it is disbelief. The woman he has blamed for years is suddenly standing inside the place he now controls. She arrived with confident, expansive habit and little understanding of farm life. To Yaman, it feels has enough life, has discovered her directly into his hand. He sees the situation as a chain to repair the balance between them. 5 years earlier, Doga had power and he had known at the farm. Yaman now the work, but people and the rule. Doga now almost nothing. He believed that making her struggle will teach her the lesson she avoided in the past. However, this is the first major problem in Yaman thinking. He tells himself, but he wants Doga to learn responsibility. But his actions are also driven by a desire to watch her suffer. Teaching and punishment are not the same thing. A teacher wants the other person to improve. A person seeking revenge wants the other person to experience pain. Yaman move between these two goals, something he give dog a difficult work because farm life truly require affect. At the other time, he chooses the more humiliated part because he remember how powerless he once made him feel. He uses responsibility as the respectable fate of revenge, the farm between the perfect place for this plan because Yaman authority there is real. He has not received his position through family wealth. He has entered trust by working, solving problems and sharing the difficult of the people around him. The farm is proof that his accident and the failed interview did not completely defect him. He created a new complicated identity from the remain of his old dream. He may not have entered the professional world he imagined, but he became necessary to another community. People depend of him, his decision matter, his knowledge has value. Every successful day at farm tell him that he survived. This explains why Yaman protect the farm with identity. It is not only his workplace, it is a place where he rebuilt his dignity. When someone threatens the land, ignore its rule, or treat it like a temporary business project, Yaman experienced the threat personality. Doga early behavior disturbed him because he did not immediately understand this emotional value. She reviewed the farm at the place her father had sent her punishment. Yaman see it as the place that gives his life meaning after everything also disappears. Their conflict is therefore not simply because a city woman and a countryman. It is about between someone who feels trapped at the farm and someone who believes the farm saved him. Yaman connection to work also explains why he judges people affect. He does not care about Doga's education, clothing or family name. If he refuses to complete a basic responsibility, he respects action more than promise. This can be one of the strongest qualities. He does not easily because impressed by appearance. He understands that real world requires patience. Yet his respect, the effect can also become harshness. The something forget that the person who has never performed a task may need guidance before being judged. Instead of allowing Doga to learn naturally, to often place an indifferent solution and wait for failure. At first, Doga gave him exactly the reaction he expects. He plain tried to escape and searching to solutions. Every mistake confirmed Yaman's old opinion. He said the same careless woman he remembered from the company. This confirmation feels safe. It allows him to believe that his attitude remained justified. The problem began when Doga refused to leave. She may complain loudly, but she also returned to the work. She failed, become dirty, faces embarrassment, and still look for a way to continue. Her reversal to surrender created the first crack in Yaman's fixed image of her. This crack between Kalila at the accident in which Doga car goes in the sea. Yaman saved her and bring her to safety, while might allow people to believe that he was the receiver. The event revealed an important part of Yaman's personality. Whenever he says about Doga, when her life is in danger, he acts immediately. He does not stop to remember the interview. He does not calculate with her. Saving her will weaken his revenge. His body moves before his anger can speak. This is one of the earlier signs that Yaman's normal instincts are stronger than he acted. This same incident also created a revolving contract between Yaman and Mert. Mert wants the image of heroism. Yaman problem performed the heroic action without demanding public praise. This does not make Yaman perfect, but it shows that his sense of responsibility is genuine. He can believe unfairly when emotion control him, yet he is not naturally forced. He wants people to respect real work and he follows that rule himself. Mild willingness to benefit from another man's courage therefore give Yaman another reason to disturb him. The official episode 2 story confirmed that Yaman saved Doga while Mark created the impression that he had done it silence. about the ratio is also physiologically interesting. Part of him may not care about receiving credit. Another part may prefer Doga to continue misunderstanding him as long as he view only a manager. He does not have to explain the contradictions in his behavior. He can save her life and then return to act as he wants her gone. If Doga clearly sees his care, she may begin asking questions he is not ready to answer. Most importantly, Yaman himself may have to ask why he acted with more urgency for the woman he claimed too late. After the accident, Doga is given an opportunity to live and continue with her plan abroad. Yaman expects her to take the easy road. Her decision surprised the people around her because she does not simply run away from the farm. The choices matter greatly to Yaman. Even if he hides his reaction, he has built his reaction of judgment of people Doga around the idea that she avoid consequence. When she chooses to remain, she challenges that judgment. He may tell himself that she is staying because of pride, but pride can still become the beginning of the courage. Each day she remains at the farm make his story about her less complete. Yamma respond to this challenge by increasing the differently. When Doga returned her car and credit card to prove that she can love life everyone else, he gave her the hardest test for his perspective. She had made the public climb and insist to tax it is real, yet one again his personal shape the test. He does not merely ask whether she can work, he looks for a way to place her under pressure. Doga attempt to prove equality between a private competition between them. The official episode 3 disruption confirmed that after the return this is privilege. Yamma responds by giving her especially heavy work. Party involving Marsh or Yamma revenge in an even clearer form. Doga obtained a false medical report because she wanted to escape the farm and attacked on every organized by the rebel who want to embrace her. When Yaman discovered the lie, he does not immediately report her, instead using the secret to force her to work as a server at the Wari party. He is most afraid of being humiliated. Yaman can defect his decision by saving the Doga life and should face consequences, yet the punishment is carefully chosen to attack her pride. He does not simply make her work another day, he places her inside a social nightmare. This is one of the moments when viewer must separate understanding Yaman from approving everything he does. His pain is plain, his desire to reveal the all power difference. But it does not make every punishment right. 5 years ago, Doga used her position to humiliate someone with less power at the party. Yaman using his authority and private information to create a similar humiliation. He may believe that he is correcting the past, but he is actually repeating his structure. The person who controls forces the weaker person into an embarrassing position. Only the identity has changed. Yaman does not immediately recognize this humility. Because revenge often hides behind the idea of fairness, a hurt person can convince himself that equal pain will restore justice, yet emotional pain cannot be measured exactly. Even if Doga experiences embarrassment, Yaman does not recover the job interview, the lost air, or the life he expected. Revenge gave him temporary satisfaction, but the original one remained. That is why he keeps needing another victory. Our punishment cannot heal him, so he creates a new test. When the test also failed to bring peace, he continued. This series makes Yaman interesting because it does not present him as a simple cruel man. Even during the moment when she finishing Doga, he glowing attention to her because visible. He wanted her reaction closely. He noticed when she is genuinely hurt. He becomes disturbed when other people go too far. He wants to control the game because controlling allows him to decide how much pain is acceptable. The moment an outside person threatens Doga, his protective instincts begin to return. In his mind, he may be allowed to challenge her, but others are not. This possessive form of protection is not yet healthy love. It is another expression of control. Yaman has not earned the right to decide who may hurt Doga. However, it reveals that she is no longer emotionally important to him. And a different man will not match her so carefully. He will not become angry when Mud approaches her. He will not remember every word she says. Yaman's attention is constant because his hatred has already changed into the more complicated connection. The problem is that Yaman does not know how to name the strange for 5 years. Doga has opponed the rule of enemy inside his mind. If he tells that he is attracted to her, he feels as though he is betraying the suffering that followed their first meeting. His anger has become a form of loyalty to her former self. The young engineer who loves his changing still life inside him. Loving Doga may feel turning that younger Yaman that his pain no longer matters. Therefore, whenever tension appears, Yaman quickly turns to anger. This creates the moment of the relationship. They become close. Yaman becomes frightened by their closeness and he creates a fresh conflict. He does not always do this consequently. Sometimes the small reminder to the past is enough to change his expression. Doga may make him laugh and for a moment he sees only the woman in front of him. Then he remembers who she was in the company and the warmth disappears. The romantic tension comes from the moment between the present and the past. Doga does not immediately underestimate by Yaman changing so suddenly. One method is move her, help her, or quickly watching over her. The next moment he becomes cold and give her another impossible task. From her point of view, he appears emotionally unstable. She believes he has a personal problem with her, but she does not understand its size. This uncertainty makes her more interesting in him. She wants to defect him, but she also wants to solve him. Every unexpected reaction becomes another clue. Yaman enjoys having information that Doga does not possess. Knowledge gives him control over the emotional relationship. He understands why every encounter matters. While she does not remember that first meeting, he can interpret her world through the past, but she can only judge his present behavior. This imbalance protects her as long as Doga remains unaware. She does not challenge his version of events. She cannot apologize, defect herself, or ask him whether his revenge has become excessive. Yaman controls the story become he controls the missing information. However, secrets do not remain stable forever. The more Doga investigates the hatred, the closer she comes to the trust. Yaman should understand that his discovery is unavoidable, but part of him continue delay it. He may tell himself that she does not deserve an explanation. In reality, explanation will forces him to become emotionally open. It will have to describe the most painful period of his life to the person he blamed for it. Anger is easier than vulnerability, others are easier than confession. The water pump sabotage in episode 5 exposes another dangerous side of Yaman. After he gave Doga responsibility for the farm, the pump is sabotaged, creating a serious crisis. Yaman quickly suspends Mart and gives toward confrontation. Doga has to support him. The moment showed that Yaman's protective nature can become uncontrolled aggression when the farm is threatened. The land is tied so closely to his entity that an attack on his survival feels like an attack on him. His first instinct is not to wait for complete proof. It is the find he believes is irresponsible and suspicion of Mart may be current, but the way he reacts remains important. A man who believes strongly in labor and responsibility could also value evidence, yet when emotion rises, his need for immediate action becomes stronger than careful judgment. Doga intervention creates a new balance between them. Earlier, Yaman believed he was the emotional person and Doga was the reckless one. During the sabotage crisis, she is the person preventing him from making a dangerous decision. This reversal showed that their qualities are beginning to affect each other. Doga is learning patience and responsibility from farm life. Yaman is being forced to learn emotional control through Doga. He may not appreciate this lesson, but it is necessary. His strength has always begun action. When something breaks, he repair it. When someone is in danger, he moves. When a appear, he comfort. In emotional problem cannot always be solved through immediately action. Sometimes strength them waiting, listening and accepting uncertainty. These are the skills Yaman lack. Giving Doga temporary control of the farm is therefore a major decision. On the surface, he may accept her to fail. He may want to prove that managing the land is more difficult than she believes. Yet handing over authority also showed that some part of him is beginning to take her seriously. He will not trust a completely useless person with responsibility that could damage the farm, even if he limits the period to 3 days. He allows her choices to matter. This is a form of recognition hidden inside a challenge. The crisis involving Delhi Nazmi and the water sources that forces Yaman and Doga into a face marriage performance. Situation like this is common in romantic comedy. But here the idea common has special meeting. Yaman and Doga spend most of their time pretending that no emotional connection. During the forced marriage, they must perform the exact relationship they fear. They have to appear united, unaffected, and familiar. The comedy comes from their discomfort, but the emotional power comes from the fact that power of the performance began to feel natural. A forced relationship creates a safe space for honest behavior. Yaman can stand closer to Doga because the situation requires it. He can protect her because the husband will be expected to do so. Doga can look at him with warmth and later claim that it was part of the act out and experience a possible version of their future without accepting responsibility for wanting it. This is why such scene often changing the energy between romantic lead one, the performance and the money of the closeness remain. The same is true of the scene in which Doga and Yaman wake up in the same bed. The physical tension is funny and comfortable, but it also means the distance they usually maintain. Yaman can control a conversation so sharp, but he cannot control the faces that Doga is beside him. When he opens his eyes for a brief moment, there is no farm manager and no finishing daughter of an investor. This is our only two people shocked by their closeness. Yaman's reaction to such movement often appears stronger than Doga because he understands the emotional danger sooner. Doga may laugh, agree, or create another joke. Yaman believes serious because he now his old certainly is a disappear. Every warm movement weakens the wall he has spent 5 years building. If his wall fails, he will have to decide what to do with his pain. He cannot continue blaming Doga in the same simple way when he sees her kindness, courage, and affect. The sign of Yaman hidden fear also appears through his nightmare and private movement. During the day, he presents himself as control. At night, the past returns without permission. The different tell us the Yaman has no processed what happened. He has managed the practical result but not the emotional injury. He found work responsibility and the comedy. He did not find pieces. His anger remained active because he would remain open. This is why Doga discovery at the end of episode 5 changing everything. She began follow the trail of the secret connected to the past. Yaman loses his control over the story. The trust no longer belonging only to him. When Doga learned what he later hated her, she gained the power to interrupt his action differently. She can finally understand that the farm tasks were not only about work, the argument, punishment, and such a change in his behavior all have the history. Episode 6 began when Doga making an important choices. After learning the case of Yaman anger, she decided to respond when empathy rather than immediately conflict. This is not the reaction Yaman has prepared himself to face for years. He may also imagine a confrontation in which Doga denied everything, laughed at his pain, or uses her family power to silence him. Anger would have been easy for him to answer. Empathy is more dangerous because it removes the enemy he needs. When Doga tried to understand him, Yaman faces a new problem. He can no longer say that is completely incapable of carrying another person's pain. Her response does not erase the past, but it proves that she is willing to look at it. This creates a difficult question for Yaman. What exactly does he need for her? Does he want an apology? Does he want her to lose something important? Does he want her to understand his life, or has revenge continued for so long that he no longer knows what could satisfy him? A person seeking justice can usually describe the outcome he needs. He may want the trust recognized, the damage repaired, and the possible heal accountable. Yaman's goal is less clear. Doga cannot return the 5 lost years. She cannot remove the accident. She cannot become the younger woman who understood the seriousness of the interview before it happened. If Yaman only accepts able return in an unchanged part, he will never receive it. This means he must eventually decide whether he wants to remain connected to the world forever. Dog empathy does not immediately make Yaman gentle. Emotional habits, but only 5 years do not disappear after one discovery. He remains suspicious because trust will make him vulnerable. He may wonder whether her kindness is sincere or whether she is trying to weaken him. He has trained himself to search for selfish motive in her actions. Every positive behavior can become suspicion when a person is determined not to be hurt again. The Beach Project gives Yaman another opportunity to receive Doga through a practical disagreement. While managing the farm, Doga tried to use the coast as a modern business area. Yaman believed the idea ignored local value and practical realities. Episode 6 proved that his concerns are not empty because Doga Tam failed start. TV official Recep stated that the beach opening plan ending unnecessarily successful and Yaman was proved right. No current mattered deeply to Yaman. Every time Doga failed, he received proof that his experience was superior to her confidence. Yet episode 6 also showed that being right does not bring him peace. He may win the business argument, but the emotional conflict continued. Doga failure does not make him stop noticing her. He did not remove his jealousy, curiosity, or attention. This is the major lesson for his character. Winning against Part is no longer enough because his heart has treated her as a simple opponent. Yaman also need to recognize that Doga failed plan does not mean all her ideas are useless. A leader can make one wrong decision and still have vulnerable skill. If uses the failure only to humiliate her, he will return to the same destructive pattern. A matter response will be to be unexplained why the plan is successful and the firm returns to partnership at the plan moment. However, Yaman is not fully ready for what kind of equality. His failure of equality comes from the fact that one depends on a fixed power difference. Yaman must remind the person who knowledge and Doga must remind the person who need a listen. If he becomes capable, responsible and emotionally aware, he loses the moral position he has created for himself. He will have to meet as an equal. Equality would force both of them to face speak honesty about their mistake. Mark return to the center of the story, give Yaman another way to avoid that honesty. Doga take him to Mark house, uses as an product promotion excuse apparently expected him to lose control or create a problem. Instead, Yaman communication warmly with Mark. Doga cannot hide her jealousy. Her one plan turned inside her become Yaman and behavior make her emotional rejection more obvious. And friendly behavior with Mark can be read in similar way. He may genuinely weak to understand why Doga is so disturbed by her. He may be searching for information. He may also receive that speaking to Mark give him power over emotional Yaman and often use whatever advantage is available to him. Once he notices Doga jealousy, he may enjoy pushing them weak point. Yet this game is dangerous. Mark is not an object Yaman can use without consequence. He has one goal history with Doga. By opening communication with her, Yaman allow another person to enter the private conflict between them. Him and Doga. Mark may enough to manipulate them about. She may tell Yaman stories. They make Doga appear selfish. She can make Doga believe that Yaman has betrayed her. What began as jealousy can become a serious breakdown of trust. Yaman also risks become cruel in the new way. In the past, he must use work and authority to punish Doga. Now he may use emotional attention. Making someone jealous is not an honest way to discover whether they care. It creates insecurity and invites misunderstanding. If Yaman wants to know Doga feeling, he should ask directly. Interestingly, episode 6 eventually pushing him toward exactly that question. When Doga confronted him about Mark, Yaman noticed the emotion behind her anger. He asked whether she liked him. This is one of the most important questions he has asked in this series. Until that moment, he protected himself through assumption. He watches Doga interrupt her behavior and tells her indirectly, asking the question means the uncertainty has become unbearable. He needed to her where she feels because her answer now better to him. A man focused only on wants will not need this information. Whether Doga like him will be unimportant. Yaman like us because he wants confirmation that the connection is not only one side. His pride may hide this need, but the need is present. He may even hope that Doga will say yes while preparing himself to reject or challenge her. Such emotional contradictions is central to Yaman. He wants closeness, but he also wants prediction from closeness. Doga answered by saying that she does not like him and like him More importantly, her working make it clear that she remembered the whole interview for the first time. Yaman understands that Doga knocked more than he expected. The secret his control has opened the door. More spaces between them start with its identity. This exchange has the moment they restart their unfinished conversation and prepare the way for long hidden trust to emerge. Movement changing the power of power again. Yaman can no longer continue acting as though Doga is unaware of his history. She now sees their personal meaning beside his treatment. Every question can be punishment. Every harsh order can be connected to revenge. Yaman must either defect when he has done or admit that his anger crossed limit. He cannot hide behind farm rule forever. Doga's statements may also hurt his pride because it turned his one question against him. He tried to expose her tension, but she reminded him of the past. Instead of receiving a confession, he received proof that the old account remained open. This is why their confrontation became more than romantic jealousy. It brings the relationship to the edge of a serious emotional reckoning. The next episode, first trailer suggested that Yaman will become to damage the now will to Doga Garten trust. The reaction is revealing his first concern is not necessarily what she feels. After learning the truth, he wants to know how she gained to the information. This is one the response of a man who feels his control slipping away. By searching for the sources, he tried to retain authority over the story. Yaman may also fear that Doga has received an important or misleading version of event, painful history often changing depending on which tell him. If she remains the secret for someone who dislikes Yaman, she may view his action only as revenge. If she learned it from someone close to him, she may understand the depth of the tragedy. His question about the seriousness may therefore include both control and fear. He wants to know what happened of him she now carries. Seven official trailer introduce another serious development. Mysteriously visitor arrive at the farm. Yaman immediately disturbed him while Doga believed that they are not good people and dismiss his concern. At the same time, Doga is called into the room without knowing that danger may be waiting for her. The trailer includes the cheating idea that Lucy must now pay for what he has done, suggested that Dunn is annoying Dunn begun into the someone else revenge plan. A storyline could become the most important test of human character so far. Yaman know what it means to build a life around revenge against someone connected to Lucy. Now another person may be using Doga as a part of a plan to punish her father. Yaman may suddenly see his own behavior reflected in a more dangerous form. He brought Lucy's daughter into his private account with the past enough so she did not fully understand what was begun happening. The mysterious visitor may be done the same thing. The parallel could force Yaman to recognize a painful trust. He has always viewed his revenge as controlling and justified. He gives Doga difficult tasks, embraces her, and tries to take her consequence. He may tell himself that he never intends to place her in real danger. But from Doga's position, the difference may not be clear. She entered the farm without knowing that the man managing her daily life has already judged her for an event she did not remember. If the new enemy target Doga to hurt Lucy, Yaman will almost continually move to protect her. His suspicion of the visitor already places him into a defensive position. Doga may ignore her warning because she believes his judgment is being sharp by his normal distrust. This creates a strong dramatic situation. Yaman may be correct about the danger, but his history of sincerity and harsh behavior has made it difficult for Doga to believe him. Trust is not created only by being right. The person can currently identify a threat and still fail to confess others. He is repeatedly hidden information. Yaman may become hidden message. Doga refuses to listen, but he must also understand why she doubts him. He has spent weeks turning serious feeling into game. Now when the danger is real, his warning may show like another attempt at control. This is the price of emotional manipulations. Once someone becomes used to hidden motive, they stop accepting what as face value. Doga may think jealous is of the visitor, trying to interfere with her choices or looking for another excuse to comment her. Yaman may see her refusal or irresponsibility, but reactions are understandable and both are connected to their failure to communicate honesty. The room mentioned in the episode 7 trailer may become the setting of a drag thread. A threatening warning or a trap intends to use Doga against Lucy. Whenever happens, Yaman's response will reveal how much he has changed. If he returned to protect her without thinking about revenge, if he proved that her safety now mattered more to him than the old account, this does not mean his pain is gone. It means his purity has changed. Such a issue will also be different from the car accident. During the other issue, Yaman acted instinctively before the relationship have developed. In episode 7, he will be protected a woman. This is feeling he has directly questioned and how no part of his secret. The emotional meaning will be stronger. Doga must finally understand that his care is not only a result of responsibility. However, this story could avoid using protection as a simple replacement for apologize. Yaman's saving Doga does not automatically excuse the way he has treated her. Heroic action and emotional accountability and separate. Yaman can also brave in a crisis while still needed to admit that revenge shaped his decision. A strong romantic I require bout. Yaman's coming confrontation with Lucy may also become more complex. Lucy represents the world where Yaman's old dream ended. He is Doga's father and investor in the farm and possibility the target of possible crime their one anger. Yaman may have reason to research Lucy, but he also depends on decisions connected to Lucy investment. The carries an uncomfortable balance between personal history and practical survival. The mysterious revenge plot against Lucy may reveal that Yaman does not know the interior past. He has built his judgment around what happened to him, but Lucy may have under enemies and hidden decisions. Someone may blame Lucy for a separated loss. The arrival of these people could expand the series beyond Yaman's personal revenge and show a larger history of harm created by power, business, or family secrets. This would be vulnerable because it could challenge Yaman belief that he alone understands the cause of Lucy and Doga what other people may have suffered too if they may respond differently. One person might seek direct violence, another might win financial destruction, another might weigh public trust. By comparing this reaction, the series can ask with her revenge overproduce the justice people expected. Yaman answer is already begun to appear. His revenge brought Doga into his daily life. It allowed him to control her work and watch her struggle, but it also made see her strongly closer enough to care about her. The punishment become a connection. The enemy become a person. Revenge therefore created the exact emotional danger Yaman wanted to avoid. This is a greater urgency of this story. Yaman had ignored Doga. She might have completely her required time at the farm and returned to her old life without understanding him. By constantly challenging her, he forced her to grow. He also forced himself to observe that growth. Every task intending to prove her weakness gave her as a challenge to reverse her trends. Every argument intending to push away created another shared memory. Yaman is also not trapped by the success and failure of his one past. He succeeds in making Doga experience a life outsider has protected her. She has worked, struggled, and begun seeing the consequence of her action. But because he has changed, he is no longer pushes the same person he first imagined. His revenge has failed emotionally because the target no longer fit the picture in his mind. He has become dependent on their conflict. Doga person give energy to his life. Before she arrived, Yaman understood his routine. He is now his responsibility and control its environment. Doga disturbed everything, but the disturbance also bring excitement. Their argument make him react in ways the farm ordinary problem do not. She make him angry, amused, worried, jealousy, and furious. Sometimes within one conversation, their emotional intensity can become addictive. Yaman may claim that he wants Doga to leave, but her departure will create silence. The man who spent 5 years waiting for the change to face her many not now word for the change. When that confrontation and revenge gives a structure to his pain, love will require a new future, and a future is more freedom because it can be lost. Yaman therefore need more than a romantic confession. He need to rebuild his identity again. The first rebuilding happened after the accident who has found purpose at the farm. The second must happen when he releases the revenge that has guided him. He must discover his one Doga is no longer his enemy. His love to the farm can become help him make this change. The land has already taught him that growth cannot be forced through anger. A person can prepare the soil, prevent, promote, and protect the work, but every living thing follow in one time. Yaman cannot command Doga to become responsible in one day. He cannot command himself for forward. He must create the condition of for change and then allow it happen. This does not mean Yaman should forget the past. Forgetting would awaken the emotional trust of this series. He deserves to speak about what happened and explain how deeply it affected him. Dogan need to hear this directly from him, not only from another person. The important difference is whether he tells the story to create understanding or to create guilt. If he speaks only to make Doga feel terrible, the conversation will become another punishment. If he speaks honestly about his fear, humiliation, and fear, he may finally bring them closer. Vulnerability is difficult for Yaman because it removes his control. Yet it is the only part that can give him something once never provided, recognition from the person. This is understanding matter most. Doga so need the freedom to explain her fight. She has been acted carelessly, but she did not understand the event that follow. Intention does not clear consequence. Yet consequences do not automatically prove intention. Yaman must separate what Doga actually did from something everything he has placed on her. The tragic accident and the tension of his expected future may involve substance larger than one younger woman's behavior. This separation is necessary for fairness. Yaman pain is real even if Doga did not intend. In Doga lack of intention is real even though the pain happened. Both trust can exist together. The series will become emotionally mature when the characters stop demanding that only one trust be accepted. Yaman must also apologize for the choices he must make. Doga arrive. His past give context, not completely permission. He deliberately used his authority to make his struggle. He hid the reason for his anger. He created humiliating solutions and something treated by development as a game. If we expect Doga to accept responsibility for damage he did not fully intend, he must accept responsibility for pain he caused intentionally. This is a moral test at the center of his character. It is easy to ask someone else to face consequence. It is harder to examine your own behavior. Yaman has built his identity around affect, honesty, and accountability. Eventually, he must apply this his value to himself. A sincere apology from Yaman should not sound like a romantic accuse. He should not say that he hurt Doga because he loved her. Love did not cause the early punishment. Anger and revenge did. His feeling later changed, but the change did not rewrite his first intention. He need to name it clearly. Doga should also be allowed to remain angry after hearing the apology. Forgiveness should not arrive immediately simply because Yaman become emotionally open. She may feel betrayal when she fully understands how long he planned to punish her. Some of the memories she reviews of one each other may suddenly look different. She may question whether any movement between them was genius. The temporary distance will be useful for the story. Yaman has often controlled how close or distant they become. Doga choices distance were reserved that power. He would have to respect her decision instead of creating another situation to force them together, waiting for her to become part of his growth. During the separation, the farm could reveal how deeply their lives have become connected. Yaman may notice Doga's absence in ordinary detail. There would be one causing his plan, changing his routine, or turning simple work into the competition. The silence he has won might become uncomfortable. Doga meanwhile may receive that leaving Yaman does not mean she wants to leave the farm. The destruction will show her development. Farm has become more than the place of her punishment. It has given her relation skill and the sense of purpose. She may choose to remain while setting clear boundaries with Yaman. The wolf forced Yaman to meet her as an equal member of the community. He could no longer treat her prison as someone he controlled. She would be there because she closest to life and because her hard work had value. Their future relationship will need to grow from cooperation rather than punishment. The danger surrounding the farm over she may speed up this chain, may continue moving toward his plan for the property while Nisrin is trying to sell the shares belonging to Safi. This decision could divide the community and place Yaman home at risk. Episode 6 confirmed that both places are active behind the romantic conflict. and will naturally want to find any attempt to take control of the land, yet this threat may be larger than the problem he can solve. Physical courage or local knowledge, contract ownership and investment require another kind of experience. Dog understand the business world like Yaman disturb, he may need her skill. Asking Doga for help would represent important growth. Yamar is comfortable helping others because it replaces him into the strong position. Receiving help is harder. It requires him to admit that he does not know everything. Doga's ability to protect the farm enough through business knowledge could finally changing his view of her city experience. The best partnership between them will not make either character disappear. Doga should not become a copy of Yaman, and Yaman should not suddenly accept every modern idea. She understands image promotion and business opportunity. He understands the land, its people, and practical risk. Together, this is scale and can threaten the farm. This is why their romance had long-term potential. They do not only attack each other, they challenge weakness and provide missing talent. Doga pushing Yaman to become flexible, emotionally open, and willing to consider new opportunities. Yaman pushes Doga to become patient, irresponsible, and aware of consequence. But this is potential will be wasted if Yaman continues treating love like another competition. He cannot win Doga through jealousy, control, or repeated issue. A healthy relationship will begin when he allows her to choose him freely. Then, given giving her the full trust and accepted that she may be response in the way he hopes. Her jealousy of Mart will be another test. Yaman has strong reason to distrust Mart beyond romance, especially after the false claims from the Doga issue and the suspicion around the farm. Yet personal jealousy can make even current concern appear selfish. Yaman must learn to explain evidence rather than attacking Murd whenever Doga is present. Murd may deliberately uses this as weakness. He can remind claim when while Ivan become angry, making himself appear reasonable. He may tell Doga that Yaman's judgment is controlling by revenge. Since there is more trust in that climb, the manipulation could work. Yaman well defense will not be another confrontation, it will be honesty. He should tell Doga exactly what he know, what he suspects and where he lack proof. This now show for her judgment. Yaman must defense will not be another confrontation, it will be honesty. He should tell Doga exactly what he know, what he spot and where he lack proof. This show respect for her judgment. It also separated protection from growth. The same principle applied to murder. Yaman may believe that he can manage her, but he should not hide important conversation from Doga. Secrecy would allow Mark to control the story. Honest communication will remove much of her power. May try to present Yaman will detail about Doga or life. Some of this detail could be true. Yaman must decide whether he judged Doga by story from the past or by the woman he now. They will repeat the central question of the series in a new form. It is a person permanently defined by earlier mistakes. Or can present action create a different identity? Yaman disappearing needing the answer to be that people can change. He may think his question is only about Doga, but it also about him. If people cannot change, then will be always be angry victim created by the accident. Yaman can also grow beyond revenge. Alpiram Diomas' performance make his conflict visible about without requiring Yaman to explain everything. His strongest scene often on distract. Yaman will remind her, but his expression changing when Doga turn away. He may act confident during an argument and then appear uncertain once he is alone. The resistance should Yaman because the character has spent air controlling what others see. Open emotional speeches could not come easily to him when his final confession arrives. It will feel powerful only it is the breakthrough the discipline he has maintained. The performance also gives Yaman humor without removing his seriousness. Doga unpredictable behavior often leaves him unable to remain the image he prefers. His irritation becomes funny because viewer can see then she affects him. The humor does not make him weak, it reveals the human being beneath his control personality. Still, the career should be useful not to use charm to excuse become hard behavior. A romantic lead can be bounded, attractive, and funny while still needing accountability. Yaman becomes more sympathetic when the story recognizes his mistake instead of pretending even action is justified. The coming danger in episode 7 offered the ideal opportunity to begin this accountability. When Yaman sees Doga being used in another person's revenge against Lucy, he may recognize how unfair it is to make a child pay for the parent choices. That recognition could return him to his one treatment for her. Doga is not responsible for every decision Lucy has made. He may benefit from her father well, but she cannot carry all his guilt in the same way. Yaman anger toward the company and the world it represents cannot be placed interior on her. This does not prove her personal responsibility for the original humiliation. It creates a fair limit around that responsibility. Yaman must stop expecting one mistake and it becomes the explanation for every painful event in his life. The mysterious visitor may also challenge Yaman by presenting events in a more extreme form. He may look at their action and think, I am not like him. Yet the deeper question is not whether his matter are dangerous, it is whether the emotional logic is similar. They may believe Lucy case their suffering that hurting Doga will face him to pay. Yaman believe Doga case his suffering and that making her struggle. World restore balance. Bout plan can use pain as a message. Seeing that reflection may disturb him. My prediction is that Yaman will first reject the comparison. He will insist that he never wanted Doga physically harm. He made that he only tried to teach her a lesson. Later, about Doga confront him directly. He may accept that his intention do not control. She expected his action. Another likely development in that Yaman will rescue Doga from the immediate danger but then face her anger rather than get rid. They may tell him that one protected at cannot the way he used her before. This would surprise Yamar because he is used to solving crises through action. He made them attempt to explain himself and fail. Yaman's first honest conversation will probably not be perfect. He may become defensive, blame Doga against or stop speaking. When the pain becomes too strong, the failure will be believable. A second conversation should become more meaningful after Yaman has time to think. He may finally tell Doga that her failure to remember him was one of the most painful parts of their union. Their trust would help and understand why her arrival reopened the wound. Doga may explain that forgetting him did not mean his life had no value. It means she was careless and protected from the conscience. This explanation cannot change the past, but it can separate its lessons from deliberate cruelty. Yaman may also learn that unexpected trust about the tragic accident. This series should reveal that another person's decision contributed more directly than he now. Such a revelation will not remove Doga rule in the beginning of the chain. But it is would challenge the story simple. He has repeated for 5 years. If lucid is information, Yaman anger may shift toward him. This will place Doga in the painful position between her father and the man she is beginning to love. It will also test whether Yaman has learned anything. Will he start a new revenge plan or will he search for growth without using Doga as a weapon? The stronger direction will be used for Yaman to damage accountability without returning to punishment. He could confirm Lucy protect the farm and insist their secret be believed. This will show that he has not become passive. Forgiveness does not require silence. It requires choosing a response that does not create another innocent victim. Lucy and Yaman may have more in common than recognized about a proud man who believes control can protect the people and think they value. Lucy sent Doga to the farm because he believed he now what has some lesson she needed. Yaman managed her experience because he believed he knew how she must pay. Bout made decision about Doga without giving her the full trust. Bout may claim that their actions are for an sexy purpose. Doga growth will eventually require her to challenge Boutman. She must become the person who decided her one future. Yaman's ability to respect this independence will determine whether he is ready for love. Protecting Doga should not mean replacing Lucy's anger with one's wants. She does not need anyone planning for life. She needs a partner who gives advice, share responsibility, and trust her choices. The farm can become the place where his healthy relationship began, unlike the company where they first meet. Kisili farm require cooperation. Money alone cannot solve every problem. Authority alone cannot create loyalty. People survive, they share and effort. Yaman already understands community in practical matter. He needs to apply that understanding emotionally. He accepts help when a farm crisis becomes too longer for one person because he tried to carry his pain alone. He trusts another with crop, animal and daily work but not with the deepest part of his history. Opening that history to Doga will not weaken him. It allow him to stop the fighting. The memory same of every day. The strong man is not the person who need feel something. It is a person who can face pain without turning it into a weapon. Doga may be the only person who can give Yaman the recognition he has secretly wanted and apologize from someone as wounded nose reach the center of the wound because Doga has the person he said during the interview. Her understanding matter at the same time Yaman must avoid it making his healthy completely dependent. On her apologize, Doga can recognize his pain but she cannot perform his recovery for him. He must choices what he does not with the recognition after receiving it. This is another reason revenge is dangerous. It gives the other person control over your peace. Yaman has spent 5 years emotionally connected to Doga even while she has absent. His mood, identity, and understanding of the past remain tired of what she had done. Forgiveness, it is healthiest form, will return that control to Yaman. It will be declared Doga innocent. It will mean that her past action no longer decided the direction of his life. The romance should come after these choices, not before it. A kiss can reveal attention, but it cannot solve the emotional structure beneath their conflict. Without accountability, love become another stage of the same power struggle. Episode 6 brought them close to the sexy confrontation. Doga now enough to challenge him, and Yaman now that she remembered. Episode 7 appeared ready to add real danger and a wider revenge plot. This development can push them beyond testing and jealousy. The most important line in the coming episode may be a romantic confession. It may be Yaman admitting that he no longer knowing someone he wants Doga to pay or want her to stay. Then contradiction describe his anterior position. He has worked hard to make her understand the cost of carelessness. In the process, he has started imagining life with her. He wanted to become the consequence he could not escape. Instead, he becomes the person he cannot remove from his route. This is why Yaman revenge has become his greatest weakness. It keeps him close to the past when the present is offering him another future. It allows Mart and other enemies to protect his reaction. It damaged Doga trust at the moment he began needed that trust. But the weakness can also become the becoming of change. Yaman is no longer hiding from the person connected to his wound. He is facing her every day. He has seen her at her worst and watches her improve. Doga has seen its cruelty, courage, loyalty, and pain. They now processes through enter of ether destroy the relationship or rebuild it honesty. The easy stage of their story is ending. Farmed as playful punishment and hidden attraction cannot carry the much future. The next step might involve responsibility. Yaman must say what happened. Doga must listen without immediately defending herself. Doga must say how is revenge affected her. Yaman must listen without using the past to silence her. Both must accept that suffering did not give one person permanent authority over others. But then conversation finally happened. Yaman will face the most difficult task of his life. It will be harder than managing a crisis, comforting Mart or protecting the farm. He will have to release the identity built around anger without knowing where he displays it. Doga may become part of that new interview, but she cannot be the whole anger. Yaman still needs his work, family, dignity, and personal purpose. A healthy romance should add to his life rather than become another thing he fears losing. The latest development suggested that the writer are moving them toward his turning point. The direct question about Doga feeling his concern about who told her the trust, his suspicion of the new visitor, and the threat against Lucia place pressure on every part of his emotional defense. Yaman can no longer control the past. The information of Doga response. He can only control what his choices net. What that choices will tell his whether he make a remain ruled by what happened 5 years ago become the new capable of building something new. My main prediction is that episode 7 will not fully end Yaman revenge but will make continue it much harder. Protected Doga from any one person plan which force him to see her as a victim rather than only as a case of his pain. My second prediction is that Doga will directly accuse him of using the farm to punish her. Yaman may say nor deny it. His silence or defensive reaction could become a temporary confirmation. My third prediction is that the mysterious guest will have a real connection to Lucy Pass and will know enough about the family to gain Doga trust. Yaman's suspicion will not be cracked, but his inability to explain calmly will create conflict. My fourth prediction is that Yaman will enter the dangerous room or reach Doga shortly after the trap begins. His fear will be stronger than his anger, making his feeling visible to anyone present. My fifth prediction is that Doga will not immediately forgive him after the rescue. Instead, the danger will open a reader conversation about different people using it to settle old document account. My sixth prediction is that Yaman will discover information connected the revenge plan to the farm ownership conflict. The mysterious visitor may not be separated from Mark's interest in the land. My seventh prediction is that Mark will continue creating doubt between Yaman and Doga. She may tell each of them a different version of the same event. My eighth prediction is that Yaman will become keeping this distance after releasing Ahmad Doga fact him. The distance will make Doga question whether his feeling during the jealousy confrontation was real. My ninth prediction is that a new crisis at the farm will bring them together again before Ether is ready. They work more effective when a practical problem forces them to stop thinking about pride. My final prediction is that the first complete confession will not come from Doga. Yaman emotional control will break first, probably when he believes that she is living in danger choices another life. Until then, we should watch Yaman actions more carefully than his world. He will continue saying that Doga is responsible. Yet he will trust her without more decision. He will claim that he cases problem, yet he will search for her with her she disappears. He will act knowing by her jealousy, yet he will keep another question designed to reveal her feeling. He will say that the past cannot be forgotten, yet his action present choices will show that he is already imagined a future. Yaman heart has moved ahead for his belief. His mind is still defending the old anger, but his instinct protect Doga. His eyes follow her, his opinion matter, her jealousy gave him hope, and her pain disturbed him. The real battle in the law of nature is therefore not only between Doga and Yaman, it is a taking place inside Yaman. One side wants to hold the wound because it feels like proof that he lost life battle. The other side wants to step forward. The woman who is no longer the person he remembered once tell him that forgiveness will make him weak. Love may teach him carrying hatred forever in the greatest weakness. Once tell him that Doga must suffer before balance can return. Experience may teach him that sheer trust becomes more balanced than even punishment. The coming episode will show each which child becomes stronger. Yaman can reveal the man who manages the farm but cannot manage his pain, or he can finally use his courage in the place where he has avoided it most. An honest conversation with Doga whenever he chooses. Episode 6 has already removed the safety of Daniel. Doga remember the interview. She understand that his anger is personal. Yaman now she is jealous. He has directly asked whether she liked him. The new visitor bringing another revenge story to the farm, and Doga appeared to be the target. The past has finally entered the open. It can no longer remain hidden, rebuild different work, joke, and business argument. Yaman must face the result of every choices he had made since Doga arrived. This is where his true transformation will begin. Not even he saved Doga from physical danger because he has already proved that he can do that. His transformation will begin when he makes her emotionally safe, so to feel her the full trust. Only then will Yaman stop being the man waiting for the past to pay his back. Only then will he become the man capable of accepting a future he never planned. And this is the most powerful possibility in his story. Yaman once believed that Doga was the reason his life ended. He may soon believe that meeting her again did not end his life. He forced him to begin life beyond the moment that he controlled him. For 5 years, the law of the nature is that nothing remains unchanged forever. Land changing with season, water fine. Another part where one roof is blocked, pain also change when it is a finally faced. Yaman has tried to toll him anger in the same form for years. But Doga presence has already transformed it. When it began as revenge has become attention, attention has become concern, concern has become jealousy, jealousy is slowly becoming love. The only question left is whether Yaman will accept this change before his old anger destroys the new relationship growing in front of him. This was section 2 of our complete Law of the Nature review. Yaman journey is no longer only about making Doga pay, it is about deciding whether he will continue serving his pain or finally become free from it. The mysterious danger in episode 7 may force that decision. Sooner that he expects, Yaman will not have enough to hate behind revenge. Welcome back everyone. In the third section of our complete Law of the Nature review, we are turning our full attention toward Doga. Until now, much of the story has been reviewed through Yaman anger, his lost opportunity and his plan to make Doga face the consequence of the past. However, Doga is Yaman. She is the central character of his one difficult journey. She began this series as a woman she believed understands life because she understands money, business language, social image, and the powerful work created by her father. The farm sorely moved that knowing how to appear confident is not the same as knowing how to survive. At the same time, the story also showed that Doga is not empathy or completely useless. Under her careless habits, she has intelligence, courage, warmth, and the strong reserve to prove that she is no longer that Lucy protected Doga. The most important thing to understand about Doga is that she was raised inside a comfortable but limited world. Her father gave her almost everything she needed before she had time to discover whether she could learn it. Before she had money, transformed social access, and the freedom to move between ideas without facing the full cost of failure. This made her confident, but it also separated confidence from experience. She learned how to big and protect, speak boldly, and defend herself. She did not learn how to remain patient when her plan became more difficult. She was protected from many ordinary consequences. So she often believed that every problem could be solved through another idea, another payment, or another person's help. Oz Yaggis had described Doga as someone released almost inside a glass enclosure. She rises almost inside a glass enclosure. She also has highlighted the character direct, caring, and nature while explaining the viewer will see her change as the story continues. That destruction is useful because it is separated Doga lack of experience from a lack of humility. She is elder but she is not without feeling. Her problem is not what she wants people to suffer. Her problem is that she is lived too far for their struggles to recognize the weight of her action. A person raised in comfort can still be genius. A person with good intention can still cause serious harm. This is the contradiction at the center of Doga. She does not enter a room planning to destroy Yaman's future. Yet her careless treatment of him during the whole interview becomes the starting point of terrible period in his life because she does not suffer the herself, yet the moment disappears from her memory. For Yaman it becomes impossible to forget. This unequal memory tells us everything about the difference between their life. Doga could move forward because the event cost her very little. Yaman carried it become the event because connected to almost everything he lost. The first episode introduced Doga as someone preparing to travel to Paris for another project. After repeatedly failing in earlier work, Lucy has finally reached the point where he believes that love and money are only helping his daughter. He sent her to the organic farm in which he has invested, hoping the hard work will taste her the realities of life. Waiting at the farm is Yaman, the man she once simulated and no longer remembered. Lucy's decision appeared responsible at first. Doga needs responsibility and the farm can provide it. Yet this matter also revealed the main problem in his relationship. He does not sit with his daughter and ask what he wants her life to become. He makes a decision for her. He uses financial control to change her direction. He treats the farm as a lesson she can arrange and Doga as a student must follow his chosen course. His love insecure, but his love often becomes controlled. Doga reacts with anger because the farm did not feel like an opportunity, it feels like a seal. She has been prepared herself for Paris, a city connected to ambition, style, and life she recognized. Instead, she is sent to a place where her clothing is impractical, her status carries little value, and her lack of experience becomes visible immediately. She does not arrive with an open mind because she believes something he has taken away from her. Before the farm can teach her everything, she first seeing it as the reason she has lost the future she wanted. Her reaction yesterday is because it is also unstable. Lucy has connected the decision without giving her emotional ownership of it. When people are forced into changes, they may often fight the situation before they consider whether the change might help them. Doga first battle is therefore not only with farm work, it is with the feeling that everyone else has decided what kind of present she must become. Yaman immediately makes the serious feeling he does not welcome her as someone who needs guidance. He says the woman connected to his pain. Every sign of prevalence confirms his word opinion. Her plan should like prove that she has done nothing. Her expensive habit remind him of the world where she once had power over him. He does not simply show her the farm rule. He speaks to her as enough she has already failed. From Doga's point of view, Yaman hatred appeared unreasonable. She sees a man who had decided to dislike her without explanation. He is hers before she fully understands that she has done. This places her in an emotionally confusing position. She may deserve to face the past, but she did not have years. But the past is present. She believes she is being pushing for being Lucy's daughter, for coming from the city, or simply for irritating Yaman because Doga does not remember the interview. She cannot interrupt his behavior correctly. When he looks at her with anger, she thinks he is judging her lifestyle. When he gives her different words, she thinks he wants to prove that city people are weak. When his mood changing after a moment of closeness, she believes he is playing another strange game. The missing money Camry creates a family between them. Yaman now why every conversation is personal. Doga only now then he affected her more strongly than a normal farm manager should. Her first defense is summer. Doga uses quick word, joke and reaction to protect herself from embarrassment. She can turn a serious order into a playful argument. She can make run fun of her task before the task make her feel powerless. Summer gave her control over situation when she has very little practical control. It is one of the reasons that character remain enjoyable. Even when she believes irresponsibly, Hummer also gives Doga to avoid emotionally honesty. She laughs when she is nervous. She creates a joke when she feels humiliated. She changes the subject when someone comes close to the trust she is not ready to face. This habit helped her survive the firm experience, but it later became an outstance. She can joke about Yaman's tension, but she cannot easily say that his opinion matters. She can laugh about jealousy, but she cannot admit that saying him with Mark hurt her. Doga silence defense in her social intensity in the city. She now had to enter a space, read city, and the people use appearance to create an expression. She is comfortable in places where the rules are based on image influences and confrontation. The farm removed the advantage. A field cannot be impressed by confidence. An animal cannot be convinced through a clever speech. Work either gets completed or it does not. This is humiliating for Doga because the farm exposes the difference between looking capable and being capable, yet the poster is also the beginning of her growth. For the first time, she cannot hide every mistake behind her father's name. The people around her see her struggle. She must either accept that she has something to learn or continue protecting that the work is beneath her. At first, she tries about part. She complains, searches for shortcut, and someone treats the farm as a temporary inconvenience. But she also refuses to accept complete defect. Every time Yaman believes she will give up, her pride pushes her back into the struggle. Pride may not be most major section for working, but it can also still become a useful changing. Doga want to prove Yaman wrong because she understands that she only proving something to herself. The car accident became an early turning point. Yaman served Doga and bring her to shore, but Mark created the impression that he performed the rescue. Lucy then agreed to stand Doga to France, giving her a clear escape from the farm. Instead of immediately taking the opportunity, Doga makes a choice that surprising everyone. The decision is important because it is the first sign that the farm has reached something deeper than an anger. The Doga introduced at the beginning appeared ready to leave the movement. She received permission. The dog after the accident has experienced fear, helplessness, and the possibility that her life could and become. She proved another thing. She also said that there is answer question about Yaman and Mert. Living will allow her to return to comfort, but it will also be accepting that the farm defected her. Her choices to remain is not yet a perfect type of responsibility. Pride, curiosity, and the competition are play a role. She wants to show Yaman that he cannot push her away. She wants to understand why his personal behavior is so personal. She may feel that returning to Paris after such a dramatic failure will make her father has a judgment appear correct. Whatever the mixture of reason, the result mattered. Doga choices differently over an easy access. This woman began separated her from the person Yamma remembered, the woman who from the interview had someone and continued her life without looking back. The woman at the farm now has an opportunity to escape discomfort, but choosing to stay Yaman may not immediately respect the decision, but his notice is every time Doga remained when he accepted her to run, his old picture of her become less reliable. Doga that make an even stronger public decision by returning her car and credit card by Lucy. She wants to prove that she can live under the same condition as everyone else at the farm. Yaman answered this question by giving her the hardest job. Returning the car and cars is partly dramatic. Doga enjoys making large gestures and she may not fully understand the practical delivery as she is creating for herself, yet as the gesture still has meaning. Money has always protected her from discomfort by giving her immediately excuse to hate. She believed her receive escape. She felt about Lucy and Yaman that she wanted to be judged through her one effect. The real change does not come from returning the card, it comes from when he does. After the excitement of the gesture and assembling decision is easy, living without the old sport is harder. Doga must wake up, work and face problems that cannot be solved. By simply demanding better treatment, her art, body, and patience become part of her education. Yaman, her stake expose her weakness, but they also give her a chance to discover strength. She may perform badly at first, yet she does not remain completely helpless. She learns about observation. She listens when pride does not block her. She finds a usable way to complete work, something a solution unpredictable, but there will creativity. Doga is not naturally suited to routine work. She becomes bored, impatient, and easily distracted. However, leadership does not require a person to be the best at every mutual task. It requires understanding the people who perform these tasks, respecting their value, and making decisions that support them. The farm began giving Doga the human experience her business education law. Before coming there, she may have understood worker mainly has names, number, or position inside a plant. At farm, every decision has a face. If work fail, a family can lose income. If an animal is neglected, there is immediately suffering. If water stop, the whole community feel the danger. This direct community connection between decision and people slowly changing how Doga think. The partly organized by Mar because another painful lesson Mar represents the social world Doga understand. Their rivalry is built around status appearance and the fear of public humiliation. When Doga entered a face medical report to attack the event, she returned to an old habit, avoiding personality through a convenient solution. Yet, Daman discovered the line forces her to work at a server at a party. For Doga, there is wood than another heavy farm task. Physical work can make her tired, but social humiliation attacks the identity she has built. She must stand in front of him who now her whole life without serving him. Morg has the ability to see her in a position Doga consider embracing. The situation forces her to face how deeply she depends on other people's approval. Doga fear of Marg is not only about dislike. Marg reflects the competitive world before which Doga come in. What happened while the weakness become entertainment, a failed project, an impressive photograph, or an uncomfortable serious moment can damage their carefully image. Doga has learned to defect herself before anyone gets close enough to hurt her. The farm changing the value of the social battle. The people at farm do not care about Morg believe Doga is fashionable, successful, and important. They care with her, she keep her word. The different form of respect is now to dog. It cannot be created through one impressive experience. It develops slowly through repeated action. Her experience at the partly therefore give her a choice. She can return to the old system and continue measuring herself through Mark's opinion, or she can decide that Mark's judgment had less power than before. The series has not completed his change yet the process has begun. Doga still reacted strongly to Mark because all the pair remain. At the same time, the farm is giving her another identity that Mark cannot fully control. This is one reason Doga later decision to take Yaman to Morg house before becomes so interesting. She believes she can use this meeting to make Yaman uncomfortable or expose his feelings. She enters the solutions she understands about people. Insists Yaman speak warmly with Mark and Doga becomes the person who loses emotional control. The hatred between the one catch in the trap as the official episode 6 itself describes the situation. Doga jealousy reveals a new weakness. But it also makes emotional growth. Earlier, her growth battle with Yaman were mainly about pride and authority. By episode 6, she carried care about his attention girl. She does not only want to win an argument, she wants to battle to him. This is uncomfortable because liking Yaman threatens similar part of her identity. He is the man who has judged her more harshly. He has placed her in embracing solution and challenging almost every belief she has about herself. Admitting attraction would mean accepting that the person who makes her aggressive is also the person who respects her become more valuable. Human attention is valuable precisely because it cannot be bought. Doga has lived around people who may prize her because of Lucy, her money, or her social position. Yaman is unpriceable by all of it. When he finally recognizes her fact that recognition carries weight, she will not give approval simply to keep her happy. It creates an emotional dependence that Doga does not fully understand. She complain about Doga opinion, yet she weakens his reaction whenever she completed a task. She acts as though his criticism mean nothing, yet it can change her mood. She may tell herself that she only wants to defect him, but victory matters because she wants him to see her differently. Her jealousy over Mer brings his hidden need into the open. Mark belonged to Doga old world while Yaman represents the new world, forcing her to change things and connect years of fear that this is true part of her life may join against her. Mark now her social weakness, Yaman now her practical weakness. Together they will see every side. This try to hide Doga reaction is therefore larger than ordinary romantic jealousy. She feels exposed. She queries that Yaman may hear stories about her own mistake and uses them to comfort his judgment. She feared Moore may receive the attention she has secretly begun wanting. She also feels betrayed because Yaman appeared friendly with a person she considers an enemy. When Doga questioned him, Yaman asked whether she liked him. The questions remove the safety of playful conflict. Doga cannot give a direct answer without surrounding emotional power. She spoke by saying that she does not like men like him and the avoiding revolt that she now remembers their old interview. The official trap identity at this moment as the start of a major confrontation over trust that has remained hidden for years. This movement proves that Doga transformation is not only about learning physical work. Her greatest challenge is learning to face emotional responsibility. When she remembers the interview and understands why Yaman hates her, she must decide what kind of person she wants to be. The earliest response would be Daniel. She could Yaman that he is creative. She could say that she was young, that the humiliation was small, or that the accident cannot be placed on her. Some of this point may contain her. Doga did not intend to destroy his life, and Yaman may have placed too much responsibilities on her. Yet using this argument immediately was allowed to her, avoiding recognition his pain. In this episode 6 showing Doga closest empathy when she discovered the reason for anger Yaman, she tried to reduce the conflict rather than increasing it. When Yaman does not respond warmly, she later uses her temporary management authority to give him difficult work, partly returning the treatment he had given her. He completed the task successfully, preventing her from enjoying the victory she accepted. This combination of sympathy and playful revenge is very true to Doga's character. She is training, but she has only become a completely difficult person overnight. She understands Yaman is wounded, yet she is angry because about the way he used that wound to control her. She wants to stay compliant without accepting endless punishment. Their distinction is essential. Doga growth should not require her to become silent. Whenever Yaman mentions the past, she can recognize her mistake and still message question his method. She can apologize for her